Hey everyone, I love Tuesdays. I was laughing and I forgot it was Transformation Tuesday because of the holidays and everything like that. So make sure that you get your Transformation Tuesday post up. I know that we are ending the year. This is our last Zoom of 2017, which is just crazy. This year has been so hard for me. The beginning of the year, January, and then it took me about 6 months to get out of a funk. But I still showed up. It was really hard. It was really hard to do that, but I leaned into it and I just did it. And man, when we just lean and continue to go through it, we can look back and see how we were made and see how we grew and just see how strong we really are when we go through hard things. And a lot of times people, I think mediocre people turn around. I remember last year when we hit elite last year for the first time. That's cool to say. That's cool to say for the first time because we hit it 2 years in a row. My brother said, I know, Julianne, I know you're climbing this mountain, but please take a look at the view. And I think about that when someone's going up a mountain. You probably have heard me say this. I am my mother. I repeat stories. But when people look at a mountain, a lot of people don't attempt it. Do you know how many people can't hike a mountain, right? Or don't want to hike a mountain because it's hot and it's uncomfortable. Or, whatever, like they make excuses about it. And then when people start going up a mountain, a lot of people turn around halfway. I went up Camelback. Don't ever do that. It's in Arizona. It's the worst hike of your life. Mariah chooses the hard side, the hard way, and I am you guys, I'm not being dramatic, gasping for air. But anyway, a lot of people wouldn't even attempt that. And then if they do attempt it, they turn around or a lot of people go up and don't even look at the view. They just go. And I think it's really important to take a look, breathe in and absorb what you're looking at. And so when you're doing hard things and when you're going for goals, it's so important to just stop and admire what you're doing, but not stare for too long, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited to start 2018 with a bang. This group, this team matters to me, and I'm so excited to see all of you accomplish so much and just freaking prove to yourself that you can do incredible things. With 80-Day Obsession, that is coming up on January 15th. How many of you have been doing a little obsessed? My back end is so sore. I'm wow, I'm only doing them for 30 minutes. This is amazing. So for 80-Day Obsession, I really know a lot of you are still going for Success Club. Who's still going for Success Club? Keep going. Yeah. Don't throw in the towel. I was just talking to Morgan about this. If you think you're not going to hit it, you're not going to hit it. And I have gone for so many goals in my life, and a lot of times I'm I have no idea how I'm going to pull this off. I'll say that, but I'm going to figure it out. And when you have that mentality, sometimes you have to convince and trick your brain. So what I suggest you do is I suggest that you write it on a piece of paper that I am going to hit Success Club this month. And you need to repeat that, and then you just need to make it happen. It's not going to happen by choice. It's not going to happen by accident. It's not going to roll onto your lap. I think a lot of times people will look at coaches and be like, well, if I just post on social media, it's just going to happen because they're on the leaderboard. That's not what happens. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that happen. So when you are going for a Success Club, you need to put in the work to do it. So it might require you to sacrifice some time. Tonight, my in-laws and family, we always go to this boxing party. I thought it was like a boxing party where you watch a fight, but no, it's an end of the year, after Christmas celebration. I had no idea. But I chose to not go tonight because it is Zoom. I make sacrifices to this day, 3.5 years into this business, because it matters to me. This team matters to me, and I'm willing to do that. Does that make sense? So with 80-Day Obsession and hitting Success Club, make sure that you're sharing those transformations. But here's the deal. If you're saying oh, I have this group coming up on January 15th, it's about it's about butts, abs, and legs, and her arms, or whatever, all of a sudden, that's not enough. What you need to do, and maybe what you're missing right now in your social media, is why do you need 80-day obsession? Why are you going to do 80-day obsession? What is the thing you're looking at with 80-day obsession? For me, it's the nutrition plan. Yes, I'm pumped about the workouts, but I'm more pumped about the nutrition plan. Why? Because my eating has been awful. I need this plan for 80 days, and it is my job to get results. Literally, as a coach, it's our job to follow a workout plan, to follow a meal plan, and to get it done. Does that make sense? So why do you guys need 80-day obsession? And if you do a little bit of obsessed, you should share that journey. You guys, if you go to my Instagram stories, do you know how many, actually a lot of you have messaged me back because mine are so funny. Like, it's me messing up. Like today, Sarah Scott's like, why are you using wine bottles as your weights? Because it gets people's attention. And the weights were all the way in the garage, and I didn't want to walk and go get them. So I was like, I'll use these wine bottles. They'll be funny. But it caught people's attention. Does that make sense? So when you do a little obsessed, you can be like, this is my sneak peek into my larger program. This little obsessed is getting me ready for my launch. Talk about how you're having a launch party. But why do you need this? How are you different with launching this program? Why does the person that is joining you, why do they need this too? I think the coolest thing about 80-day obsession, you guys, is that there's going to be a group that is following the same plan. Every time that there's a launch, there are so many people who are super successful with it because people aren't doing PiYo and 21-day fix and all this stuff. Everyone is doing 80-day obsession. It's like this camaraderie. It's this thing of like, when I go through day 7 and day 7 sucked and I can't walk right now, or it's like the rest day and you get to do the active recovery, everyone's like, yay! And everyone gets it. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm showing how the little obsessed, how I'm having a hard time with it. I'm literally laughing at my own self because the bands are so awkward, but I don't want my followers and the people who are joining me to think that they're going to breeze through this. If I'm struggling, my avatar is going to struggle. If you don't struggle through it, then great, your avatar is not going to struggle through it. But my avatar is like, it's a joke. Like, I literally am like laughing, dancing, falling over, just being like, and I keep writing, I have so much more work to do. Like, I have so much more improvement to do. There's more, like, I'm going to get better at this. And I keep sharing that. And my followers are like, oh my gosh, this is so funny and entertaining. And I want to do it. It looks fun. And this is something I don't ever do either. There's a 80-day obsession Spotify playlist. And I'm actually listening to the music during my workouts, and I'm like, dance. I'm showing my personality through my workouts, because when you look at me working out, it looks like I'm going through death. Like, I don't smile. Like, I've been told so many times, and I'm like, back up off me, people. Because they're like, you need to smile more, like, breathe. And I'm like, girl, like, you're not even my tribe. No, I'm just playing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to show, like, how it really is. But also, when there's music on, you know I'm dancing ass Mariah. Like, she knows I get it down. I get down. I love music. I love, like, having so much fun. So maybe that's not your style, but that's mine. But I'm noticing people, like, excited to watch my journey with my workouts. Does that make sense? I'm talking about how Energize, by the way, Energize, you will need it for this program. Recover, I need to have Recover today because I'm so freaking sore. But I'm showing my audience, I'm showing these future challengers that, one, I'm struggling through it. I'm so excited to struggle through it. It's going to be so much fun doing it together. And I need them to help me with this. So why do you need 80-day obsession? Why do they need 80-day obsession? If they're giving you money objections, relate to them. Share those in a post, like objections. Get inside people's heads, because a lot of people I think are like, I'll wait till February. I'm going to wait, and be like, well, how has that worked out for you? Like, how has that been working out for you that you keep pushing this back? Sarah Scott was talking to me about someone who kept making excuses about it, and I was giving her advice about it. And I was like, you just need to say it how it is. Like, how has this worked for you? Like, it sounds like you're afraid of failure because that's all you're used to doing. I'm not trying to be rude, but it just seems like you're already, like, capping your success. Like, you're already like, well, I've already failed so many times, I'm going to fail at this. How many people think that in real life? I can't do, like, maybe it's you being like, man, I've hit Success Club a year ago and I just can't do it again. So then guess what's not going to happen? You're not going to hit Success Club. Or maybe you were like close to this, but you're like, no, I didn't hit it. And then you were done, right? I almost followed a meal plan, but I can never do it again because that's not for me. I always fail at it. It's time that you prove to yourself that you do something about it. But if you have that mindset, how can you help other people have that mindset? Rock the Business is happening on January 1st. This is a business training that's going to talk to you about Teen Cycle bonuses, things that you don't know about, Success Club. It's going to talk to you about posting on social media. It's going to talk to you about how to rock your power hour. If you're serious about this business, you need to be serious about this training. I'm just going to be straight up with you. This is what's going to help you get it done. And what's going to happen is that you do it every day. You don't do it for a week and then can you just prove to yourself that you can finish something, right? So just do this business training. It's amazing. You're going to like it. I'll post about it in the team page. And then I really, as you're going into 2018, can we please just celebrate the good that's happened in this year? It's really easy to look back and be like, this was the most challenging year, or this was hard, or this sucked, or whatever. But when you can just be like, I just don't think that God takes us through things for it to always be miserable. I don't think we go through hard things to think, dang, that sucks. I think when we can go through hard things and look back and be like, that made me. Or when you go through maybe the toughest year, I don't think it's something to wish away. I think everything happens on purpose. And so when you can really just find the good in this year and celebrate that instead of oh, I missed this goal, or I didn't do this again, or I said I would do this. If you're going to have that negative mindset going into 2018, it's not going to set you up for success. So when you can look back and be like, man, that was the hardest year. For me in January, finding out I had a miscarriage, that my freaking world. I was ready to tackle 2017, had just become a first time elite coach. I was like, yes. And it was dagger in my chest. And then I was out for the count for 6 months. I felt 4 months, something like that. I don't know. It was just really hard. But I look back now and I'm like, dang, I won. I got through that. I had a lot of incredible things happen, a lot of incredible moments. I still showed up and worked on my self-care. So before we go into this planning for 2018, can you all just celebrate this year? Celebrate something in this year, something good that happened, and just be you know what? This year wasn't a waste. Maybe you were this is the best year ever. I was well, my hat's off to you. This was a really hard year. I would say the last part of it was really good. But I'm going to go into 2017 just freaking fist pumping the air because it's I survived that. I'm so, yeah, Flora, we'll fist pump together. She's coming over for New Year's. I think you are. I hope you are because that's awkward if you're not. And I was really excited about that. But I want you guys to celebrate the year. So when we're going into 2018, I need you to have a plan. And like I said, this business, it doesn't happen by accident. This business doesn't happen. You can look at me, you can look at whoever, and you can be like, oh, you guys are kind of seeing the highlight reel. Does that make sense? Do you guys get this? Your friends don't really ask how you're doing because they think they know everything that's going on in your life because you post 3 times on social media. Where they're I don't need to ask them how they are. I already know, right? Where it's all right, you could just ask. But if you were to look at me and be oh, I just have to do these types of posts on social media. I have to have this kind of Instagram story. And then I am going to hit Success Club. That doesn't happen. You should see me behind the scenes because I'm a freaking beast. I'm not saying you need to be a beast with having 5 hours. I don't think you need to maximize time. I think you need to minimize time and maximize your success. Does that make sense? So when you can have minimal time, I could crush it in an hour. I'm so serious. I could get it done in an hour and out hustle myself. I am a beast in that way. But I think what you see is this highlighted reel of a coach where it's guys, that's not how it works. I'm a beast behind scenes, right? So I want to teach you how to be a beast behind scenes. You need to have a plan. So like I said, goals don't happen on accident. You can't wing this business. You can't wing it. You can't be oh, I posted on social media. I've tried everything, Julianne. Where it's no, you haven't. I know you haven't because I've tried a lot of things, right? So how do you not become desperate in this business? It's with a plan. So for me, I already know what I'm doing for February. I already am knowing exactly when my challenge groups are going to be. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. So what is your plan going to be. I think right now you need to stick with 80-day obsession. That's going to take you into January 15th. You need to have a plan for February, the first Monday of February. You need to have a 14-day challenge. Maybe it's in the middle of February, maybe it's February 15th, whatever that middle of the February is, and that's your next group. But 80-day obsession is going to go for 80 days. You guys aren't planning anything with that. Sarah and I are already going to schedule all the posts with that. Like, there's no front end work on that for you. Does that make sense? All you have to do is post about the transformations of 80-day obsession. Those transformations are incredible. It is our job to get the same transformations. It is our job to share and show this journey, right? So you need to have a plan that goes into February with that. And you need to be sharing your journey. So as we go, if I look at I started this business in May, in the middle of May of 2014. And if I were to go into my business and look until now, I was like looking at my earnings over the last 4 years. You guys, I probably made more than half, 2/3 this year in my business than I have the last 2.5 years. So if I'm looking at 3.5 years, this year has more than doubled what I did in 2 years. And I'm like, oh, I see this now. Like, I'm starting to see the compound effect of it. Does that make sense? But here's my thing. Please make it to year 4. If you're going into 2018 and you're like, well, I'm not going to hit Success Club, or I can't do this, and like, what? Like, if you think it's good now, you need to stick it out and wait. It gets harder. Like, the more you keep getting in this, the harder it is, in my opinion, but it's so good. But can you please just like give it to yourself to stay in this a little bit longer, and just to be like, you know what? Like, I have what it takes. I have a team. I have grit. I have accountability. I have people willing to pour their hearts into me and teach me and grow me and show me exactly how to be successful in this business. The way to be successful in this business is to be authentically you and working on your self-care. So my year 1 to my year 4, I poured into my self-care this year. Like, I poured into it. I needed self-care this year because it was so hard. So do yourself a favor and follow a program and show yourself you can do that. And you need to do that at the beginning of this year. And you need to share, this is day 1 out of 80, or day 1 out of 21. This is day 1 out of 3. Isn't it crazy? We have a 3-day program. It's called the Refresh. Then maybe you do Sean Week. Show yourself that you can do 7 days. Can you please just show yourself that you can be successful by walking the walk? So when you're making a plan this year, when you're ready to rock and crush 2018, it all starts with you. I want you to make 6 figures. I want you to be elite. I want you to be diamond. I want you to be emerald. I want you to hit Success Club. I want you to do all those things. But winging this business, it's not going to work. If you're going to wait for it, it's not going to work. But it all starts with you taking action with your own self-care. So how do I not become desperate? I look and see what I'm doing. How's my self-care? I do like a gut check. Like, how's my programs? Am I pushing myself? How's my nutrition? That's a weak moment right now for me. How's my personal development? When was the last time I actually read a book? I've been leaning too much on podcasts. Oh, I hate books. Well, you know what? Suck it up, Julianne, right? Like, that's what I had to say, because I like love the convenience of listening. Whereas like, I'm going to push myself a little bit. So as we go into this next year, like, first of all, can we just celebrate if you're a newer coach and you've been a coach for a week, if you've been a coach for a month, if you've been a coach for 6 months, think about a year from now where you'll be and how long you've been in this business. Isn't that kind of cool? Can you just prove it to yourself that you'll be here? I haven't gone anywhere in the last 3.5 years. I have been so dead fast consistent. Is that a word? Steadfast? Not dead fast? Okay, there we go. In this business, like, straight up, right? Like, I'm not going anywhere. You guys can count on me. I'm not going anywhere. You can count on that I'm going to show up and pour my heart into this team. And like, don't you owe it to yourself to do the same thing? So it starts with your self-care. Be someone that needs someone. Like, you are the person that is going to change a life, and it all starts with you. And it all starts with what you're about to do. So as we're going into 2018, which is absolutely crazy, you need a plan. You need to celebrate this last year and how it grew you. You need to lead into the team, of course. But when you are setting a plan for 2018, I need you to do something. And I need you to do this. I need you to set goals around your family. What does that look like? Morgan just told me that she unplugged for a long time, for 5 hours, because she went to a party, and she said it was awesome. Liz is reading Present Over Perfect. I'm assuming that's going to be an excellent book to read if you're struggling with this with your family. If that's a big goal that you have this year, and you guys, I just need you to know something. Goals aren't the thing that gives you confidence. Losing 25 pounds is not going to give you confidence. Making 6 figures is not going to give you confidence. Hitting diamond is not going to give you confidence, but the process will. You Success Club, you're not, oh my gosh, I'll never forget this. It was New Year's 2 years ago. Liz Colborn was on the phone with me. It must have been, I was in California at the time. Do you remember, Liz? We were on the phone. It must have been like 9 p.m. And you're like, I'm going to hit Success Club. I'm talking to all these people. I'm calling them. Like you were just like beast in it, like beast mode. And it was New Year's, you guys. New Year's, most people are at parties. Most people are all this stuff. But Liz is like, I am going to hit it. I'm going to hit Success Club. And you want to know something? I don't think in that moment that her hitting Success Club is what gave her confidence in this business. That was the first time she hit Success Club. It meant so much to me. And the reason it meant so much to me is because she had been a coach for a while. And she was ready. She was ready to go to that next level and hit Success Club. And she promised herself that she would do it. But I remember being on the phone with her, and I was just like, this is cool, because I'm looking back at that moment, Liz, and being like, that's what gave you confidence, is that you were sacrificing, pouring in the time, had the belief, and you did it. And you made it happen. I don't think that time of hitting Success Club 6 is the thing that gave you confidence, but I think what you did to do it did. And when I can look back at that story, you guys, that was 2 years ago. And it's like right in my brain of like, man, that was so cool, because that gave you confidence in this journey. It's never the goal that we hit that gives us the confidence. It's the process. Alexia doing PIO, like freaking muscles over there. And it's like, I don't think doing day 5 of it is like any like crazy change in your life. But when you go through a program and you look back and you're like, every day I chose to hit play, that is what gave me confidence. I might look good, I might be strong, I might like feel this way, but man, it's because I pressed play on day 7. It's, man, I pressed play, not pray, on day 9 when I was busy and I had finals and I had all this stuff, that I still did it. Like, I showed up. Like, you guys owe it to yourself to show up. Does that make sense? So it's never the goal that you hit that gives you that confidence, but it's in that freaking process as you do that. So with your family, what is that looking like right now for you? Are you on your phone too much? I'm telling you this, I'm all about the minimizing the time and maximizing success. I never will be the type of leader that tells you to just keep maximizing the time. That, I don't believe in that. I truly believe the reason we can do this business is, one, it helps with our self-care, it gives us confidence, it makes us feel good, it gives us a really awesome community, but it makes us better outside of this. Like, we become better friends, a better wife maybe, right? A better friend, right? Better friend makes me a better teacher. It makes me just a better person outside of this, because no one really knows what Beachbody is unless you're in the world of it. You know what I mean? But like, it gives you the confidence in your relationships, and it does so much for us. So as you're doing that, like, what area do you need to improve with your family? And you need to set goals around that, and you need to stick to that. It's not a resolution. It's just like a commitment. Maybe it's when you are hanging out with you call your family once a week. Maybe that's the goal you write down, right? Or maybe it's what every time you go on a date night, you don't take your phone with you. And it's kind of like going through a program where you're not going to see a major change on day 5. But if you just build in those habits, it's kind of like when I used to check the scale 3 times a day. It's so crazy. I used to do that. I can't even believe that. And since Beachbody, I stopped doing that. I got rid of my scale, but because I did the Shift Shop test group, I had to get a scale back. You guys, I never get on it. I thought I would. I was actually kind of nervous when I ordered it and got it because I was like, man, I hope this doesn't become a habit. I literally hardly ever get on it because I built a habit of not getting on it. Does that make sense? So when you build these habits, it's not like, maybe you're not like, I am going to talk to my family and hang out with them 5 hours each week. But maybe it's like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do a better job of communicating this year. And then you write down specifically what that looks like. And then over 3-month time period, you can look back and be like, whoa, like that's really cool. I did that. Like you can notice the difference, if that makes sense. So I want you to have some goals aligned with your family. Does anyone have any ideas that they could share that they've thought about, that they've met with their family, or that they have for their family of goals this year? I'm assuming it's going to be more unplugging. I just don't want you guys to be on your phone all the time, if that makes sense. Any ideas? You can put it in the chat, or you can.
So for me, I think anytime that I'm with my family or my friends or doing anything that's really important to me or hanging out with people that are really important to me, I really try to be off my phone. And even if it's like one of my best friends, like even if it was Sarah or Julianne or Morgan, like even if we were just driving around, like, yeah, it's totally acceptable to just kind of do some Beachbody work, but really just putting our phone down and like being present, just because I want to talk to them. I want to have conversations. And I remember I was at dinner the other night and I was like, nope, my phone's going to stay in the car. And I didn't bring my phone, and we had great conversation. But then as I was looking around the room, it was like, wow, like people aren't even talking anymore. Like people are just on their phone. So just really trying to be present and take time for my family or my friends or whoever I'm with, and just really being present, because I feel like we're always attached to our phone, and it's really nice to have that one-on-one FaceTime.
I think that's such a good suggestion. And again, like sometimes with goals, we like put so much pressure that it has to be like a number, or it has to be like hit by a certain time. But I think if you're just more aware, and just maybe even it's like, I was just telling Morgan, I was like, maybe you get an alarm clock. And I don't even know if she needs one. I don't even know if this is an issue for you, but I was just saying, like, as an example, where it's like instead of taking a phone to bed, that you get an alarm clock instead, and you leave your phone somewhere else. You guys, people, if there's like an emergency, people will find a way to get a hold of you. Like, what did they used to do without that? You know what I mean? For me, I always put it on nighttime mode, and I turn off all my notifications. That has saved me this year. Like, I don't get any notifications from Instagram, Facebook, text messages, and even phone calls, and it's been fine. It's been fine. Any other ideas as far as goals that you can set with your family to be more present? I think Liz would be a huge advocate for present over perfect for sure. I love you. You want to say hi to everybody?
Oh, hey, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Any other ideas that you have for your family that you would love to share? He's going to be so sad.
I think too, since I'm just kind of popping off some ideas, I think too, when I first started as a coach, I really, really struggled with, like, it's almost like in Beachbody, not like in life where they say keep up with the Joneses. It was almost like keep up with the Juliannes, or like keep up with the Sarahs. And it was like, okay, so they're doing this and I need to do this and this and this. And especially being a nurse at the time and like in school and constantly busy, it was always like, it was like I was in a patient's room and then I was on my phone, and then I was in a patient's room and then I was on my phone, or I was like during lunch I was on my phone, or I just felt like it was like a constant rat race. And one of the biggest things that I realized is you can't do that, because you're just going to burn yourself out, and then it's not going to be fun. So one of the things that I want to help a lot of the newer coaches that I see on this call and just in general is you don't want to start to do things that make this business unfun, because it's a fun business. It's an awesome way to help other people, inspire other people, and empower other people. But you also have to, again, like Julianne said, take care of yourself. So one of the tips that I always said is, you know, if that means that I wake up 30 minutes earlier than I usually do to make sure that I get my PD first. Before I do anything like social media, it's PD first, get my workout in, and then you see me post. And if that means I have to wake up 30 minutes earlier to be able to get in my posts and my social media and stuff like that, then that's good. And then maybe my lunch is for my quick power 30. And then at the end of the day, I'm done. I turn my phone off. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm with Julianne. I don't know how many messages I have in my messenger. Sorry, coaches, you guys probably realize that, where you're like messaging me on Facebook and I'm not getting back to you for 3 days because I don't check it. But I don't want you guys to get into what I did, where it was chronic coaching, where I was constantly on my phone, constantly checking my notifications because I felt like I was going to miss something. And one of the most pivotal things that Julianne said to me, taught me, and that I carry with me all the time is, if I'm responding the millisecond that they respond to me, I look desperate and I look like I'm like, okay, yes, I need you to buy this challenge pack because of me, more so than me really trying to help them. So think about it this way. If I was trying to buy something and somebody wasn't responding to me right away, it's almost like, okay, it's not that they're not interested in helping me. It's like that they're busy or they're doing something. They're enjoying Christmas. And just really just understanding that, guys, it's not the end of the world if you don't respond to them in 24 hours, 48 hours, or if you're bad like me, 72 hours, because I promise you'll get to those messages anyway. But your family is here. They're present. And guys, I see death and dying all the time. Life is short. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your loved ones. Hug your kids. Hug your husbands. Hug your friends. They matter because they're right there in your face. Don't put the phone in between you guys. It's not that important. You guys, your family is important. So really just don't be a chronic coach. Really take the time, back off your phone. You're not going to miss anything. You're an incredible, incredible coach doing exactly what you're doing. And just believe that.
I agree. And I think too, like, I think about that a lot, where I think the theme for our team should really be minimizing time, maximizing success, because I don't want you guys to think scrolling the news feed and knowing everybody's business is being a successful coach. Like, I don't follow a lot of coaches besides all of you. I'm not trying to be up in everybody's business. I'm just trying to get it done. And it makes sense now, like looking back these almost 4 years, which is crazy. And I'm like, how have I experienced so much success? It's because when I'm in, I'm in. And when I'm out, I'm freaking out. But when I'm in, I'm 2 feet in. Like, I'm not like, I'm unwavering in this. And like, I just need you to know, you're not being like, if your goal is Success Club, and I think Success Club is such a strong mover of the needle in your business. Like, I really do believe that. It's so important to help new people, and it's going to keep it fun, and it's going to be exciting. Is it a make or break every single second and minute and month? It's not a make or break, but it's how you rebound back from not hitting it, for sure. But I'm like, man, every goal that I've hit, or when I look back, it's like, I wasn't just spending so much time scrolling the news feed. I wasn't trying to do I was just doing what I needed to do. And a lot of that is the unsexy stuff. Like, a lot of that is spending a lot of time of like, man, if I can just crank out scheduling all these posts, and I know that it's going to set me up for the rest of the month to where I can just focus on inviting, I'll do it. And I've just been really good about my time and how I run this business. It's not because I do this full time.
But Julianne, that was something that really turned me on to you as somebody who wasn't even doing any Beachbody program, but I was interested in it. And then when I started thinking about being a coach, I saw how you managed your time and how it wasn't this all huge consuming thing that would just be so daunting. So you were able to, manage everything and not just, you don't ever really seem like you need to juggle things. It just kind of happens organically, and I'll answer when I get to you, and I have a life.
So you guys, this is important. So Laura lives in the same building as me. We met because of our dogs, and now she's a coach on this team, which is so cool. We work out all the time together. So she lives in San Jose, and I think that is huge because you see me on screen. And she sees me in person, and she saw me before. She didn't even know, she didn't know that much about Beachbody before, and we just talked about life. Like what she saw is what she got. And have I changed now that you're a coach? No, like I'm the same. And it's so true. And I thank you for saying that, because I think that's so important, where it's like, I think that we put this unnecessary pressure on ourselves that we need to be on our phone all the time to be doing this. I know we're getting a little bit away from the family thing, but Laura, that's so important, and Mariah, that's so important. Like, you can be so successful with minimal time and maximize your success and get it done. Does that make sense? It's not because I do this full time, you guys. I built, in order to leave my job, like I invested sacrifice. Instead of watching Netflix, I'd work my business. That's totally two separate things than being on my phone all the time. I just chose what I would pick working my business than watching football. And I think it's flip-flops. I think a lot of people are choosing other things versus what's going to move the needle. And I don't know. I don't know how to convey how much freedom this business can bring. And I like financially, yes, like, you guys, it's unending. Like, it's unending. You can make a team cycle bonus, and I keep saying this, like, you have to worry about one leg probably on your business. Maybe you don't know what that means. Like, you're not just going to make money in this business. And that's why I love it. Like, you're not going to just make money. You have to put in work to make money in this, and I love that. But when you do put in that work, it is going to freaking compound when you do that. And this is my favorite part of the whole business, is actually, if you haven't talked to me about this, like the numbers side of things, like, it is my passion. Ask some of the coaches on here, like, to help you maximize income is like a huge passion I have in this business. But the cool thing about it is that if you don't put in the work, it's not going to happen. But I need you to know what's possible. There's a ton, like, from day one, we all start the same. We're all an active coach. We're a coach working on self-care. If you show up with your self-care every day and you just trust this process, you hop on these Zooms like I did every time there was a Zoom. I would not go to things and be learning and engaged and present. And when you just keep doing that and you set these goals that I'm telling you that are important, and you just find a way to make it happen, and you're coachable, and you just keep trusting this process, and you just go, you look back and you're like, man, cool. You can make a team cycle bonus of $1,000 a week or more, maybe $1,500 a week, maybe $2,000 of just team cycle bonuses, not even your commissions. But then it gets even crazier. If you become a 2-star diamond, you can open another. Eric and I, between the three of us, have 3 business centers in this business, meaning we have 3 business centers making money. Do you know how much that compounds? I was looking over like how much we've made over this whole year of 3 business centers. I was like, whoa, that's insane. And then after that, if you go 5-star, you'll make, I want to say it's like $4,000 quarterly in that one business center. What if all 3 business centers went 5-star? You'd be making over $10,000, right? Then you go 15 or 10-star and you're making $19,000-ish quarterly, just for being a 10-star diamond. Just like, or diamond coach, you can make $250. If you're a diamond coach, you'll make $250 quarterly if you hold it for 6 weeks, just for being a diamond. That wasn't around when I was a diamond coach, you guys. That's a new thing. Okay, like maybe you're like $250 quarterly is not that much, but I'm like, but if you're just going to be an emerald, like, I don't want to say just an emerald, but like, or a diamond, like you're already making like more, $1,000 extra dollars. Like, it's like it compounds, right? Then 15-star, you make roughly around $68,000 a quarter. Trina is 15-star and 10-star. That's insane, you guys. That's like a little less than $100,000 quarterly. Do you start? I just need you to know, or no, that's 68. Sorry. No, that's a little under $1,000 for both business centers. I just need you to see the potential in this, because when I first started, I was making $30. When I first started, I remember I got my $250 a week paycheck, and I was like, what the heck for doing this? It's so fun. I love this. And then it just started going, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because at my job, I signed a contract, and that is how much money I made. And that was it. And this it just keeps like there isn't a cap. Like like unless you don't grow yourself, but like maybe that seems so far off, does it? Because I remember feeling like I just want to be there, and I wasn't. I just want to be there. Instead of just saying that, I just got down and put myself to work. So when I found myself being like, oh, I've missed this goal, I won't see that, I'm not meant for this or whatever, instead of just like feeling all those feels, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to expand my network. You know what, I'm just going to tell, Julianne said go post about 80-day obsession about why I need it, I'm just going to go do it. Oh, Julianne's saying make these canned responses because they've been game-changing for her. You know what, I'm just going to go do it. Julianne is saying I need to follow a nutrition plan. I don't want, that's a little uncomfortable. Well, you all know what? When I did that for the Shift Shop, guess whose business freaking exploded after that? Mine. It did. When I did the Shift Shop, I freaking shared it and got uncomfortable, and it blew up my business. Julianne's saying, you know what? I should do this because it's a little outside my comfort zone. Insane things happen when you do that. I'm just being straight up with you. So back to the basics here. Family. Set goals with them, okay? And it doesn't have to be like a number or like a certain amount of hours. Like sorry for the phone call. I just want you to like set a goal for that. I want you to set one for self-care, especially one that makes you really feel uncomfortable and uneasy and scared. And maybe that's like, oh my gosh, like Stephanie's on here. Stephanie, maybe that's sharing like day one postpartum. Like that's probably not the best picture you want to take, but like I can just see how that's going to blow up your business when you do take it. And then you're like 3 weeks postpartum, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, like people are gonna be like, what the heck? Like I need to do what Stephanie's doing. Seriously, I'm like goals. Like that's like, to me, I'm like, that's gonna be incredible, right? For your self-care, maybe it's literally doing a program that scares you so much. Well, guess what? You need to get inside the heads of your avatar. I do hard things in this business because I need to prove, one, to myself that I can do hard things, but two, my avatar needs to see me raising the bar. I think you guys need to see me raise the bar to go elite again. I was getting a little bit comfortable, and then I was like, you know what? I need to elevate myself so I can show you guys what's possible, and I did because I simply made the choice. So where is it where you're with your self-care being like, I don't want to do that because I just really love wine. Or I am like addicted to sweets. Like I'm not joking. It is bad. It is so bad. Like Eric and I just have a sweet tooth. We'd pick that any day over anything. Where it's like 80 days, we're going to do it. Or maybe it's just simply giving up sugar for 7. Like don't try to like make yourself up for failure, or like if you're already thinking you're going to fail at it. Does that make sense? Like if you're like, I can't do that, and you're going to do it just to say it, don't do it. But if you're serious about making the change and you're serious about this business and you're serious about your life and you're serious about your health, you're going to do something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable with your self-care. And what does that look like for you? And with self-care, you've got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right. Are you already setting yourself up for failure, saying you can't do it? Are you like talking yourself out of hard things? Where's your mind? Are you leaning in on the team? I've seen that a lot lately, which is super cool. It's really easy. What do I do when I'm struggling? It's so easy to let that manifest, isn't it? When you're struggling, isn't it easy to just get caught? Why are we our worst own enemy? Like we are. If Eric knew how I talk to myself all the time, not all the time, but like when I do and it goes to that place, he would be so sad I'm talking to myself like that. It's crazy. How about you take that to social media and turn it into a message? How about you go to the team and be like, I'm going to beat this? How about when you're like calling yourself fat, you go do a workout and be like, take that, negative Nancy in my head. You got nothing on me, right? Like, how about we do that? And you just need to share your heart and share your story. And I think what's really important with your avatar is that this journey of self-care never ends, you guys. Like, did you know the top CEOs all work out? Like the top successful, happy CEOs. Like, let's think about Mark Zuckerberg. You guys, people who make a lot of money who actually love their life and not love money, but like make money, because they don't think that money is what equals happiness, but like because they're so healthy and happy, like you look at them and you look at their patterns, they all go to the gym. Like they all work out. They all take care of themselves. They listen to personal development. I think that speaks huge volumes in my opinion. where I think it's pretty cool that your job is to literally become the healthiest and happiest version of yourself, but it doesn't end. Self-care is a lifestyle. It's not a destination. And this journey of coaching is the same thing. And I loved what Mariah was saying, like, it's easy to look at this business of keeping up with the Joneses. I see oh no, Sarah, I was like on the go and like I don't even remember. Like I already blanked out. You're gonna have to like look at the recording. Oh man, I was gonna say something super profound, I'm sure, but I totally forgot. And it was right, keeping up with the Joneses. Where I see like coaches' biggest struggle is comparison. No, Sarah, you're good. It's comparison. And that's trying to keep up, right? Like, man, like this person is new and they've already hit this goal, or this has happened. Like, why is it about that? Do you guys know that's conventional thinking? That's not what our team's about. Our team is about empowerment. Our team is about camaraderie. Our team is about cheering each other on. So when you find yourself feeling that way, guess what? Your avatar is feeling that way with you, whether they like to see it or not. I was like, man, my avatar hates me right now that I got to work out on Christmas. Like they're pissed about it. And the reason they're pissed about it because they're like, oh, cool, Julianne, like way to throw that in my face. Like it's Christmas and like, you know, and like I have to be aware of that, but I can't lower my standards because of other people. But at the same time, this team isn't about that. This team is about encouragement. So when you're comparing, first of all, stop following all these coaches. No one says that you have to do that. It is not your job to like and comment on every coach's thing. It's not. Like, I love that you want to be like super supportive and great. I think in the team page, yes, but why are you spending all your time going to do that on social media instead of just getting to work? My coaches know my heart. They know, like, I love them. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I didn't even know that happened. Or, oh, because I'm not scrolling the news feed. I'm just getting to work. Like sometimes when it pops up and it's right there, I'll be like, great, like that's awesome. But if you're feeling defeated based on someone else's success, wait a second, like that's a whole nother gut check you need to have with yourself. It's out of jealousy. And then that's your story. I used to be really jealous. I used to be a really jealous person. And now I'd be like, go ahead and hit on my husband. He's hot. Like I would be like totally cool with it. But like, man, it was bad. I like struggled with so much jealousy where I'd like watch Eric's eyes to see if he was like looking at any girl in the room. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I am a jealous person, like naturally. So how about instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you go make that into a social media post of like, man, I never realized how much I'm jealous. Do you know how many women are going to relate to you? Like when I would share those stories on social media, I got so many messages of women of like, thank you for sharing that, because you feel kind of crazy. Like you feel like a horrible human being when you're jealous of someone's happiness. Guess what? When all these people are following you on social media and looking at how happy you are with this amazing team and like you're losing all this weight and loving working out now and all this stuff, like kind of becomes unrelatable. How can you be relatable? Freaking share your struggle, dude. And it's crazy because we try to cover it up of like, man, like I'm struggling in the business. I'm struggling. And I'm like, how can you turn that into a story? Like, it's not that you're struggling to hit a goal. It's deeper than that. You're struggling because you see all these other people hitting this goal and you're pissed about it, right? Or there's like other aspects to it that you can share and then freaking become empowered by it, right? And I feel like when you admit hard things and things that are like really and kind of embarrassing to share and you just share it, it loses its power in your head. Like we like come up in this thing like a lot of new coaches are like, I love it when new coaches hang out with us, more veteran coaches, because you guys will see me eating my Ghirardelli chocolates, and then they'll be like, oh, it's cool, like because like you hide eating unhealthy, you know what I mean? Until like you're with other coaches and you see that they're eating unhealthy, and you're like, oh, it's good, like this is all right. Where it's like then it becomes okay. But man, like when you can just realize that like your weakness or your struggle is actually what's going to make you successful in this business. Like wherever setback you're having, I think you're thinking it's going to give you a disadvantage, but actually it's your advantage. Whatever you're going through, that's going to be the thing that gets you through it. When you can acknowledge it and talk about it. I hope this opened up a lot of hearts tonight and a lot of mindsets, because maybe you're like, dang, that's my advantage, not disadvantage. Like, no, it's not fun saying you're a jealous person. Like, no one wants to be like, oh yeah, I'm jealous. Hey, nice to meet you. Like, no one wants that in their life. But at the same time, do you know how many women could relate to you if you are a jealous person? Like, are you jealous that someone like already has, like, I think about this too, like, oh, if I could have just started coaching 8 years ago, like Trina, and I would be where she is now, and I know how much time I have to go. Maybe you're looking at me being like, dang it, I wish I could be where Julianne is and just lose that freaking 35 pounds. You guys, I had to go through that to become the person I am today. Why would you want to fast forward through that and cut corners? Like, why would you already want to be making this much in the business? Like, that's not going to change your life. What's going to change your life is the process of not cutting corners and putting your head down to work, skipping some parties so you could like invest into your team, right? Like saying no to this. Like, don't you realize that like you wishing where you want to be isn't actually what's going to make you? It's the fact that you didn't cut those corners. So what you think in your head, your mean girl tries to tell you is a disadvantage, is a major advantage in this business. If you're struggling with anxiety, you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it. It's huge. And again, then your mean girl is going to be like, dang, Julianne's good. I didn't think she would go use that as leverage. Yeah, take that, jerk, in my head, right? So I want you to set those goals around your self-care. What are the hard things that you need to do in this business for your self-care? Your self-care is the thing that's going to get you to be successful in this business. I think we think it's Success Club. I think we think it's rank and all that stuff. And yes, that stuff's important, but it's not going to happen if you're not doing self-care. Again, you can't cut corners. I see so many coaches that want to hit Success Club but aren't willing to put in the work for it. And then for those coaches who do hit Success Club and didn't put the work in it, it's not going to last. The people who make it and make it happen are the people, their hands are dirty. Like they're in the trenches and they're not distracted and they're just getting it done instead of just talking about it. Like so many people want the perfect answer. Instead of me looking for it, I just did it and figured it out and failed forward. Like I was in a pin, like okay, this whole canned response thing you all have going on right now, that is helping you not word vomit. Why aren't you using those? Like for me, I word vomited for a full year before I got it right. Like I'm trying to simplify it for y'all. Then I want you to set goals around this business for 2018. Emerald is a hands down duh. Like, not trying to be rude, but like you guys need to do that. It's like actually like logically business wise, like I'm a money person, that sounded so bad, a numbers person, but like the numbers for the money, like I want to maximize to help you guys get freedom, right? So like I'm really passionate about it. I don't love money, but I love what it can do. Does that make sense? Like I love that it can allow me to spend more time with people that I love. I love that it can allow me to bless more people. But Emerald is that like duh to that movement. Does that make sense? So if you're in this because you really do want to pay off debt or you do want to travel more or you want to do this, this, and this, like it really starts with Emerald. I'm just saying. And so then a lot of like mediocre thinking would be like, well, how do I do that? I don't know anyone. I would just do it. I was like, well, I'm just going to message people. I'm just going to ask the question. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to stumble my way there. Did I get a lot of no's? Yes. Did I get people mocking me? Yes. Did it suck? Yes. But I did it. And now I look back and I'm like, booyah, that's awesome. Right? So, and then Success Club is like, that I think is not negotiable in this business. But aside from those two things, what is your goal for next year? Maybe you need some help with it. Please don't set it to an easy goal of I'm going to post every day on social media. Duh. Like you need to post every day on social media. Like you can't set these goals that are like right here. Like you need to set something that's scary that you might not get. Like you need to set a goal that's attainable, but yet like you're not sure if it could actually happen. To make it even more simplified, like last year I was a new diamond. Last January, I was a new diamond. And is that hard to believe? Maybe. I was a newer diamond. And last year I went from diamond to 5-star. This year, I'm still a 5-star. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm so proud, but it's not about the rank. But in my business, in lifetime, I've advanced and helped 8 PS coaches go diamond. 8. I'm really proud about that. And it's really good, right? So for you, like, what is that goal? Maybe you're like, man, I really, like, even if you're not emerald yet, hands down, you should make the goal of diamond. But like, I really just like think if we set like mediocre goals, going diamond is not mediocre. That's not my point. My point is, if you're only going to be like, I think this is what's going to happen is like, I see some coaches, it's December. They'll be like, I'll go emerald in July. And I'm like, oh no, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, the movement of the growth that you want to happen is not going to happen, not because of the time frame, but because of the mindset of the time frame. So for you, you just have to make it a non-negotiable. So maybe it is diamond. Y'all, it's just going emerald again and again and again 4 times. And then you'll help those people go emerald. Like, we'll help you with that. Does that make sense? Like, I'll teach you how to teach others how to do this. Does that make sense? But what you can control is you getting 8 PS coaches. You can 100% control that. And then we will help you teach, right? So what does that goal look like? 2-star diamond. You're personally sponsoring 2 diamonds, 1 on each leg. Maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. That's fine. I've seen coaches go elite who are brand new right now. Like I've seen this where it's been December and they're like, sure, I'm gonna do it. And then they do. So like, please don't be like, nah. Like if you want it, you'll make a way and make it happen. I don't think that it's impossible. Actually, in the UK, we launched in the UK in October. There's already a 3-star diamond in the UK. Just saying, it just launched in October. So I'm just saying it's possible. But I want you guys to set a goal with the business that scares you out of your pants a little bit. But it's not something that's unattainable. Diamond, I think, would be a really great goal. One, you get bigger team cycle bonuses, but also like you've become a leader of helping others. I think it's really important to hit. No goal is going to give you confidence and credibility. Okay. No one's going to join you because you're an elite coach. No one's going to join you because you're a diamond coach. No one's going to join you because of this, this, and this. People are going to join you because of your heart, your conviction, and your consistency. No one cares how much money you make. No one cares where you're ranked. No one cares all this stuff. But if you care about their success, they want to do this. And that's how I feel in this business. If I go to the grocery store, no one wants Beachbody. Like, no one cares, and it's fine. But my heart to help people is so there. I want success. Like, I've just seen what this has done for me, and I've seen what it's done to all of you, and I'm like, this can't end. Like, this is so good. This is going to change everyone's life. That takes you places. That is why people want to join you, is because, one, you're consistent. You're not going to fail them. Because you guys, I'm not going to fail you. I'm going to show up. Do you know how many pictures I look back on in the last almost 4 years and how many coaches aren't here anymore? Like, we have to take new pictures because those people aren't there anymore. That's never going to be me. It's not. I'm not going anywhere. And isn't that enough confidence to trust in this process instead of being like, life's hard. I just can't do this. Like, I'm pregnant or this or that. And I just have to take a step back. I've seen coaches miss Success Club and they're like, this isn't for me. And I'm like, no, no offense, but I don't think I want to work with someone like that. I want to work with someone who comes back from setback. Like, it's all about the comeback, right? Like, it's all about when you get knocked down, what you're going to do about it. And I want those types of people on this team. It's not about, just like achieving. I want to work with the coaches that are like, man, it's been a freaking hard year, but I freaking showed up. And I'll be like, hell yeah, you did. And I love working with you. You guys, we are part of the greatest movement in history. It is so awesome to work with you. And I just see like the difference you get to make in everyone's life. And it is so inspiring. I love you all so much. I know that we're a little bit past time. I'm going to hit end.